Hey everybody, welcome back. SoCo Customs YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up and a subscribe, and we'll get rolling with this this walk around. So we've got the 2020 GMC with the refresh. You can see how mean that front end looks. This is the SLT. We're going to be sending it up 5 inches on the zone lift kit. So and then I think we'll be stuffing some 35-inch tires, but we'll be one of the first shops doing this, so we're pretty pumped about that. And yeah, let's get to it. So the first thing I noticed is GMC finally started doing the push button start down in the lower trim levels. It always bothered me with the last generation that they hadn't yet done the push to start, the keyless, all that fun stuff. So still a little rumble in there. Let's start playing with the infotainment system before we head on back. Yeah, we're in demo mode, but get started. We can talk. You can add different trailers in there and have different checklists for that. But it looks like this only has the rear view camera. I looked around for all the extra cameras that are in the other ones, but heated, cooled seats. Exhaust brake, unfortunately that is still tied to the tow haul mode, so you can't just hammer that to slow down. They're also adding this auto feature, so it's more of an all-wheel drive instead of a four-wheel drive. That's always some good peace of mind. And I do like these mirrors. I feel like they do cut down a little bit of the blind spot, but I mean, it's still a tow mirror and you are still going to have a pretty large blind spot over there. But you know what? It's a big truck. All right, let's get headed back towards the shop, and then I'll kind of give you a demo of this new tailgate. I know that's been a polarizing feature for a lot of folks. I'm really excited to see the difference between the ride stock, because I mean they're still using the same torsion key feature for the independent front suspension, and yeah, I'll be curious to see how much this 5-inch kit from Zone changes up the ride, because I do believe that it is a knuckle. I don't think it provides a new UCA, so it's just going to change up the geometry a little bit. So I'm definitely not an engineer, but I would guess that not all that much has changed up as far as the steering geometry of this truck. I don't think they've changed much on the front end, because Rough Country already has a leveling kit ready for this truck, and their 3.5-inch kit as well. That's one of our favorite kits, and you know what, that 3.5 does fit a 35, and Zone already has their 5-inch lift kit ready, so I'm guessing that not too much is different and they didn't have to do much tweaking to the outgoing model kits. The big news is that you are able to fit a 37 underneath the 5-inch kit, which is crazy to think about, because in the past usually you had to do heavy trimming even on a 7.5-inch kit to fit a 37 underneath these trucks. But that does come with one caveat, and you do need quite a bit of back spacing to do so. So if you are running on a narrow sort of stock wheel with a high back spacing, 5.5 inches or more, you'll be able to fit that 37 underneath with some trimming. But if you are trying to get some stance out of this thing and run those wide wheels where you're only running about 4.5 inches of back spacing, then you'll need to just drop it down to that 35. But we'll definitely see how this looks with that 35 underneath. We are really pumped to bring this to you. So now guys, for the time being, I drive a pretty small car. I drive a Subaru Legacy, but I'm always surprised by these new heavy-duty trucks and how quickly you can just jump in and immediately feel comfortable. I know where all four corners of the truck are, even without all those camera assists. So I'm a big fan of these heavy-duty trucks. They do ride very smooth. They still ride like a truck, but that's to be expected when you're putting all the capabilities in that these trucks have. GM did not update the motor for this. It still has that 935 foot-pounds of torque. I assume that as 2021 starts to roll around, GM is going to have to join the 1,000 pound-foot of torque party that Ford has joined and Ram has joined in their 3500s. Now I'm a little torn on this interior because it doesn't seem to be updated all that much from the outgoing model. And you know what? There's two schools of thought, because I've always loved the GM interiors, especially the 2015 and up in this heavy duty. So now it was a great interior, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's also, as the cost of a new truck starts to increase, you know, it's harder and harder to justify spending $80,000 on a truck when there's nothing new and different about it. Now, I would like to give a huge shout out to Ferguson GMC. They are real close friends of ours. We've done quite a few lifts for them already. They do have a lot of these 2020s in stock, and we're hoping to add to that stock with some lifted vehicles here in the near future. So yes, this truck along with others will be available down at the dealership. And a cool feature, we're so close with them that even if you're at the financing counter and you're like, you know what, I want to add some parts to my rig, we can definitely hook you up with that. We can add that into your financing. So we've been able to do that on a few different builds with them. Stay tuned to the channel for that build. Oh, how the tables have turned with GM making fun of Ford's man step. But definitely a convenient feature, especially if you are in and out of the truck quite often. I know that step, that three-piece step tailgate thing is very polarizing among people in the truck industry. I personally like it, especially if you are getting in and out of the truck quite a bit. Just having an extra step up is good for your knees, especially as these things sit up pretty high. So now there is already footage out there of somebody opening up their bed and accidentally dropping it on their trailer, denting their bed, making it so that it can't shut. Be careful out there, but I think it's a cool feature personally. The other nice feature for these trucks is, especially for us cold weather folks, is you no longer have to deal with that giant plug. We've got a nice female port right here where you can plug in and just run your own cord at home instead of having to find a place to tuck that cord when it's not in use. Again, guys, thumbs up, subscribe. We really like doing walkarounds of these brand new stock trucks. Go ahead and ask any questions in the comment section below. Ask any thoughts. I definitely love these trucks. So thanks, guys. Peace.